When it comes to engine noises, nothing sounds as good as a V8, which is why I bought this E39 M5. This 4.9 liter V8 is one of the best engines BMW ever made. It was special back then and still is special today. And what better place than in this parking garage to allow you to hear what this V8 actually sounds like. Isn't it crazy that this suave, sophisticated-looking German sedan has that kind of a mean grumble to it? It sounds even more aggressive thanks to the previous owner putting on aftermarket Eisenman exhaust, which I'm really loving. And we all know what makes this V8 even better, the fact that it comes with 3 pedals. It's not that this is the only V8 that I could have gotten. You have your American muscle car options like a Mustang, Corvette, Camaro, but this is more than just a V8. This is a Bavarian beauty with the handling prowess and all of the German engineering that goes into it. So you get the whole package with this. So you can understand why I had to experience this car for myself. What I love about this M5 is it's such a raw and unfiltered experience. The V8 coupled with the 6-speed manual, you can have fun just about at any speed. With modern cars, no matter how hard they try, it's such an artificial, disconnected experience. It's like you're playing a video game. With the M5, you're so aware of the road, you get so much feedback. It's such an engaging experience. It's really the reason why we all became car enthusiasts in the first place. What makes this car so enjoyable is the simplicity of it. You don't have this massive digital screen with all of these options, this fancy electronic wizardry. You have a simple sport button that tightens up the steering and makes the throttle more responsive, but that's pretty much it. Another thing that I love about this V8 is there's a constant rumble, which is not intrusive, but you know that V8's there somewhere lurking in the background. And you know that you have a big power plant that's producing all that horsepower. It's nice to drive something where it's not completely whisper quiet, but then when you floor it and make this car come alive, this V8 hits a new level. 20 years later, this V8 managed to be nothing short of amazing. And that's why this E39 M5 is such a classic and trades hands between enthusiasts, because we're never going to get cars like this. No one's ever going to make this V8 or have the same sort of driving experience. This is about as good as it gets. So it just started raining, and one of the challenges with this car with the rear wheel drive, V8, all of that torque on the rear wheels, is it can get dangerous. You do lose traction pretty easily, and especially if your tires aren't in great shape, then you're going to fishtail quite a bit. But luckily you have traction control, which takes care of it. But it's still something to watch out for, especially if you're coming out of a turn and you punch it. It could get hairy pretty quickly. This is not a 0 to 60 in 2 second kind of car, but it's got enough power to where you're not wishing for more. One thing with this M5's V8 specifically is because it's so finely tuned and because they've pushed the engineering to the edge, you can't really just get in the car and drive like normal. You have to take it pretty easy on the car, and you can't rev up beyond a certain number of RPMs. The tachometer shows you exactly where to cut it off, And so you have to let it warm up for about 15 minutes or so before you really try to push the throttle and get the revs up high. Otherwise, you're going to damage the engine. The beauty of having a V8 like this is even in traffic, as you're coming off of stoplights, you can shift and shift at higher RPMs, get that exhaust going, and all of that noise is absolutely fantastic. In normal cars with normal sounding engines or no sound whatsoever, being in traffic is painful, but in this one, it keeps it exciting. You don't need the radio, you can just listen to the V8. The V8 in this thing isn't crazy powerful. It's a little under 400 horsepower, 400 pound-feet of torque. But having that stick shift here makes a world of difference, and you can redline this thing all the way to 8,000 RPM, which is crazy. When it comes to these older cars, this E39 M5 is one of the few driver's cars still remaining. There's really not many cars out there like the E39 M5 with this V8, with the standard transmission. I think I'm starting to understand why so many people consider this BMW to be one of the best BMWs ever made.